commissions, being on the board of your local domestic violence shelter, things like that. It does two things. It shows your passion, it shows your commitment and your care, and selfishly, we always say as well, it helps get your name ID up.
Mm-hmm.
You have to look at, you'll always look at the reasons as to why somebody wants to run. And once you hear that, you can begin to direct them in the right way. And the other thing I always do as well is if somebody's still unsure, during Emerge, we have elected officials or former elected officials come in and talk to people about what it's like to run for office, what it's like to lose and or win, what it's like to serve. But if at the end of the day they're still not sure, find somebody who's run and sit down with them and buy them a cup of coffee and say, okay, and at this point it's man or woman, but what did you experience? What were the pitfalls? What were the highs? What were your struggles? If you could do it again, what would you do differently? It's just like anything else. You just have to get yourself data and information and figure out what the best decision for you going forward is.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's the planning part of it, and then the messaging part of it is probably the two most important parts of getting people to run for office and actually making an effective campaign. Because if you don't have the proper messaging, then people aren't listening. They're not hearing what you have to say.
Yeah.
We had a big thing out here. My opponent in 2016, the first forum we had, he talked about socialism and how bad it was. And then the clean elections debate for the general election, he talked about how he couldn't get his Social Security check because he made too much money, and we need to fix the Social Security system. That socialist Social Security system. So it was like, but people don't see that. They don't listen to that kind of stuff because at the legislative level and at the actual school board or city council level and stuff like that, they don't see a lot of that. Most of the voters don't get any kind of impression of, they read a couple of things online and that's pretty much it, because you just can't get in front of enough people to personalize yourself to those people to get them to vote for you.
But they don't understand what socialism is, or if they do, they don't want to accept the fact that, oh shit, somebody broke into my house, I'm calling the cops. Socialists. Oh shit, my house is burning down, I called the fire department. Socialists. Oh shit, the fucking snowplows snowed me in, I can't get out of my driveway, I gotta call a snowplow. Socialists.
No, socialism.
But I mean, seriously, it's like people just they don't get it. They don't know, and they don't know the difference between socialism and democratic socialism. As soon as you throw the word democratic in there, all of a sudden it's bastardized.
Well, that's a whole conversation for another show. Really.
Right.
And I think there's a lot of people who don't understand the difference between socialism and communism.
Oh, no. They equate socialism to communism. Thank you, Fox News, and all of you other media outlets that have destroyed the whole idea of what socialism really is. Now, for those that are listening out there, okay, how can they reach out and get involved with Emerge, either as an volunteer, helper, as possible candidates? How can they reach out to you guys?
Well, so first off, Emerges in 18 states, and we have another 7 or 8 chapters coming on board this year. So for people who are in Arizona, please go to emergearizona.org and sign up for all of the good things we do. We're actually going to be doing our Woman of the Year event. I believe it's May 11th. But if you also live in another state, go to emergeamerica.org, and if you're interested in running, see if your state is one of the soon-to-be 26, 27 that we have chapters in.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're in a state that doesn't have Emerge, or you're a gentleman, contact your Democratic Party and say, I'm tired of this stuff. I want to get trained and I want to run, or I want to know how to make a difference. I mean, I don't think there's any Democratic Party anywhere right now that'll turn down a volunteer or somebody who's interested. So
you just totally answered my fucking question about how guys who want to run are like, well, wait, Emerge is like for chicks, so like, can I call them? So thank you for that. They can just call their actual local LD level.
Well,
party.
LD level or state party. Usually it's real easy to find out who your state party contacts are, so that you can actually talk about that kind of stuff. And that's one of those things.
Do.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, but we do have an event. I think it's in the fall this year. We do have an event called Men of Emerge, where we get our guys together who support the women that are running and support our organization. So, even though we only train women, we don't discriminate when it comes to our events and having fun. So,
we don't have to wear. I don't have to wear a dress, do I?
Well, only if it's a green one, because that's our color.
Oh, I think I read that tutus are required for men.
Yeah, someone was trying to get me to wear a tutu to some event. That's just horrible. Yeah. So, and one of the things that from our experiences are, being organized is very important. So having the ability and the opportunity to have that kind of training, like through Emerge or through DFA or any of the or Arizona List, any of those organizations, if you're actually interested in running for any type of public office, that is a good place to start. Because even if you can't get into the training, like for Emerge, I'm sure that there's probably a lot of resources, information that prospective candidates can actually look at and read and educate themselves on, even if they can't get into the class, right?
Exactly. I mean, we hit the highlights at the beginning, but I would say if you're in a state, look around at any of the progressive organizations, because even like labor unions, I would have to think that maybe even the Planned Parenthood chapter might have an idea of where you can go. We talked about Emily's List, and I think Emily's List has chapters almost in every state. So, I mean, there's so many places that you can reach out, DFA, PDA. I mean, there's plenty of places you can call to find resources and get you pointed in the right direction.
Right. Cool. That's what we need to do. Now we just got to get people to step up and do it. Not me, though, because I've had enough. I'm tired. Yeah. But
the great thing is, and we tell this to people in Emerge as well, not everybody's meant to run for office. And, at the end of the day, you still need people who can be your field coordinators. You still need people who can be your campaign treasurers, working on a few campaigns and learning how to be a campaign manager, because let's face it, our electeds don't get elected unless they have a great campaign manager behind them.
Right.
So
yeah, it's all about the support staff.
There's plenty of stuff to do. Exactly.
Yeah, you got to have that support. Okay, well, thanks, Rebecca, for being on the show tonight. We're going to have to go to our PSAs and everything and set up for the next hour. For those of you that are interested, please look up your local Democratic Party. Look up see if you have Emerge groups. The only way that we can make change is if we actually step up and do it, and there's a lot of information out there. So, so thanks, Rebecca. We really appreciate you. Try to stay out of trouble.
Oh, what? Don't tell her that.
Okay, well, act like you're trying to stay out of trouble.
That ruins my entire weekend if I have to stay out of trouble. So
okay, well, just don't get caught.
But thank you for having me on.
Yeah. All right.
Night.
All right.
Night, Rebecca.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Good night.
Okay, so when we come back, we will be talking with Karen Nicole Trujillo, who ran for LD 26 House of Representatives, and, of course, the two of us who ran for LD 16 House and Senate, about the pros and cons, the goods, the bads, and the, oh, shit, why did I do this type of things that happen during the election.
Grab a shot.
Yes, grab a shot, sit back, grab something to eat. Listen to our PSAs, and we'll be back in about 4 or 5 minutes.
Are you worried about what your money is paying for when you pay your insurance bill? How many times have you seen a company or agent helping a cause you disagree with? It happens again and again and again. Progressives who want to make sure that they are helping the issues they care about have an agent on their side. Matthew Serra is here to help you save money on your insurance and give you the comfort of mind knowing that you are supporting causes that you hold dear. To see if he can save you money, contact him at 602-753-8574. Make sure you are saving money today.
My name is Scott Pryor, chair of Arizona's LD16 Democrats. One of the things I have noticed since I became active in politics in 2012 is that people in general have increased their value of political affiliation over the value of humanity and community. Interpersonal communication has become more defined by our online communications and less defined by our face-to-face interactions. This has drastically reduced our ability to empathize with one another and find common ground to create real conversation and real solutions. If you frequent Facebook or Twitter or some of the other social media websites, you will see that many people are referring to each other as liberals or conservatives or libtards or Republicans. And many times, what starts as a real logical conversation becomes useless as people move from logical discourse to online shouting matches and name-calling. This type of behavior really must change. As chair of the LD16 Democrats, our local party will begin moving in a new direction. Instead of focusing on political change, we will begin focusing on changing ourselves and our communities. We will attempt to work together with others to help create better communication through cooperation, such as food and clothing drives, friendly competitions such as bowling, riflery, softball games, and yes, even karaoke. Our goal is to try to take the political affiliation out of the primary focus of all of our communications and start treating people as individuals, neighbors, and friends. As a gesture of this new focus, I will begin working to provide free educational seminars to the public, which will give people the proper tools necessary to not only participate in the state governmental process, but also interact with the different committees and legislators that are at the Capitol to represent us. I look forward to the future and hope that we can all begin to work together to create better solutions for all the people in our community.
Hello, my name is Michelle Short. Stu DeHaan and myself are co-chapter heads of the Arizona chapter to the Satanic Temple. Our chapter was given birth in February of 2016 in the aftermath of our first and biggest challenge, when we requested to perform our invocation in front of the Phoenix City Council on behalf of the Satanic Temple. As Satanists that worship through activism, the mission of the Satanic Temple is to encourage benevolence and empathy among all people, reject tyrannical authority, advocate practical common sense and justice, and be directed by the human conscience to undertake noble pursuits guided by the individual will. Civic-minded, the Satanic Temple has been involved in a number of good works, including fighting for women's body autonomy, religious plurality in public forums, working on behalf of children in public school who have been subjected to proselytizing and corporal punishment, and much, much more.